In this video, we're looking at my Kiyoshi Kato 240mm Gyuto. Why are these knives hyped to the moon? Is this really a life-changing blade and worth the price tag? What are my legit reasons for you not to jump on the hype train? Watch the whole video to find out. If you are deep in the kitchen knife world, you've been digging in the rabbit hole for a while, then you already know the legend of Kiyoshi Kato. Traditional, robust, thick-spined blades with absurd cutting abilities. Maksim Enevoldsen, the owner of Japanese natural stones in Denmark, was the first person to sell Kiyoshi Kato knives outside of Japan. Listen to what he had to say about the start of the Kato hype and the status of the Kiyoshi Kato knives today.
When I asked my guy in Japan what knife do he think is similar to Shigefusa or better than Shigefusa, then he said Kato. Kato is the better guy. First gathering I ever made, I bring this on the table, then the chef from the gathering come over to me and said, "What is that kind of knife you brought? They look super ugly." I said, "I don't know, when you make a Kato," and then he brought it on the table to try to cut with, and then he cut his eyes lit up and said, "Can I buy all of this?" There where the hype began. Kato, what could I say? Super popular knife. I'm the first one that started to sell it overseas. I love it. Traditional, super nice knives.
Kiyoshi Kato-san, or Yoshiake Fujiwara, his smith name, was born in 1944. He's a licensed swordsmith since 1999. At 20 years old, he began his swordsmith training under his grandfather, Kanekuni Kato, and his father, Sanehira Kato. After more than a decade of training in swordsmithing, in 1977 he switched to making kitchen knives and outdoor knives. He makes his knives in his workshop in Hokuto City in Yamanashi Prefecture. Kato-san's blades are traditionally forged and heat-treated. They're like the Shigefusa of the knife world. Rare, expensive, and mystical unicorns. The fact that Kiyoshi Kato is a licensed sword maker who transitioned to kitchen knives gives the aura of this blade something extra. The samurai sword energy is real. My Kato knife is a Sanmai forged blade with a Migaki finish. My first impression? Thick, quite hefty, quite serious. Not your dainty laser knife like a Shibata Kutetsu, Kai Kobayashi or Takada. This knife will feel familiar for Western chefs. It's robust, sturdy and substantial. It starts at a beefy 5mm spine at the tang and tapers to about 1.5mm at the tip. The spine is also beautifully straight, but the grind, that's where this thing becomes art. Sure, the fact that Kiyoshi Kato mastered forging and heat treat truly matters, but they are pretty much invisible. But the grind, that's visible. You won't find a hollow grind here, like the thin stuff of a huge Kaiten Mizu Toishi wheel. No, Kato's blades are old school hand ground. And yeah, this one, beautifully convex. This Kato might have the best convex grind I've ever seen. Thick where it needs to be, thin where it counts. A geometry that just screams Sanyo workhorse. Think Toyama, Shigefusa, Munetoshi, Wakui. Profile-wise, yeah, it definitely leans Western. Generous curve on the spine, lots of belly on the cutting edge, no flat spot to speak of. Yeah, I think this knife mostly wants to rock. So if you prefer to use the rocking technique over the push cutting or pull cutting technique, this knife will definitely rock your boat. Too bad I'm not a rocker. So let's see if this knife deserves all the hype. The out-of-the-box sharpness on this blade, yeah, top-notch. It's so beautifully sharpened. Wow. Wow. Okay, so I've cut a lot of chili peppers in my life. And I've cut them with a lot of different knives. But never like this. So satisfying. Almost transcendent. I think I might even experienced something spiritual in my pants. And slightly moist. Sorry, kids.
Thanks. Now I need my brain bleach to get rid of that mental image.
Very few kitchen knives cut through a leek without using any force. This Kiyoshi Kato knife does. It feels perfectly balanced between heft and control. Yeah, the blade is incredibly easy to work with. Like, it knows what I want before I do it. It basically immediately feels like an extension of my arm.
Look at you, pretending to be a chef.
Even though there's no flat spot, I can still chop reasonably well. But bush cutting with this thing? That puts a big smile on my face. I'm talking first bite of a ramen after a breakup kind of joy. The shallot doesn't stand a chance. This knife cuts so well, I teared up. So emotional right now. What? How does it cut through a dense, solid sweet potato like it's celery? This is impressive, man. Check this full-on stank face. Like I just smelled a 1,000-year egg, but in a good way.
Cool. Add knife included stank face to your therapy list.
Sweet potato usually fights back. This one gave up immediately. What? No pressure, no wedging, just clean, smooth cuts. I'm basically wielding a lightsaber.
Cuts one sweet potato successfully, immediately thinks he's a Jedi.
Also, cutting a bell pepper is child's play with this knife. Again, no force needed. The sharp edge has enough bite to cut through the skin without any pressure.
Effortless.
Same thing with the tomato. Laughably easy. This edge bites through the skin like it's buttering toast. Very cleanly, very effortlessly. And here's the thing. I always tell the students in my basic cutting scale class, use the whole edge. Let the knife do the work. Stop muscling through stuff like you are only used to dull knives. They probably are, but with a sharp knife, and especially an incredibly sharp knife like this, no pressure needed at all.
Great. Another life lesson from Chef Boring. Get on with it, will ya?
The sharpness of the edge, the weight of the blade, it just falls through things effortlessly. Even the densest carrots. It's honestly kind of addictive. I wish I had more things to cut. Man, I don't even smoke, but after using my Kiyoshi Kato for the first time, I think I need a cigarette, a little nap, and probably a second round. Yeah, this knife is ridiculously functional and outperforms most of my knives. Yeah, it might just be the best performing knife I have, although that really still depends on the tasks at hand. Kiyoshi Kato knives have what people call soul. And honestly, I totally get that. It's functional and refined. The look, the feel, the sheer cutting performance, it all just clicks. This 240mm Gyuto is an old school monster. Beefy spine with an elegant taper, beautiful convex grind. And guess what? All of that probably contributes to its exceptional cutting performance. If you're a Western chef moving from a chunky beater, this will feel like upgrading from a tricycle to a Ducati. Being in the knife nerd community for quite a while, it feels like almost everyone in the kitchen knife community wants a Kiyoshi Kato, and especially those who have used one but never owned one. And yeah, I definitely don't regret picking one up. It's rare for a knife to leave a lasting impression like this one did. So here's my advice. If you can afford a Kato, buy one. If you can't afford a Kato, sell a kidney, sell your house, sell your soul. You won't regret it. Maybe.
Is there no legit reason whatsoever why a kitchen knife nerd might not want a Kiyoshi Kato? Just asking for a friend.
Okay, real talk. These knives are hyped to the moon and back. Some people act like they are made of vibranium or treat them like some mythical artifacts. While they are phenomenal knives, this is still just a kitchen knife, a tool for in the kitchen. So if you're expecting a somewhat religious experience, lower the bar a little bit. Just like I should have done when I shot my videos about my Giro knives. Kato-san's production is slowing down with age, so supply is scarce. Retail prices were once semi-reasonable. The last one I saw in stock a couple of years ago was just under 1,000 euros. But prices on the second-hand market,
Not many can afford.
stupid high. You're looking at about 2,000 euros for a 240mm Gyuto these days. And often from flippers. Yeah, and I kind of hate that. I mean, it feels more like getting hustled at a luxury watch convention than picking up a tool you're actually going to use. And Kato knives, especially the workhorse versions, have a heavy convex grind, which is amazing for food release, but there are no lasers. If you worship zero wedging, paper thin geometry, you might be disappointed. And also white steel, shirogami steel, with a soft iron cladding. Translation, super reactive. It can patina weird and get funky real fast. I swear mine tried to rust just by thinking about the tomato. So I already know that maintaining this knife is going to be a pain in my cat's a-hole.
Hey, this is one of those rare moments where my a-hole has nothing to do with anything.
And here's the final irony. You pay a fortune to get a knife and suddenly the knife feels too precious to use. I always told myself to not become a collector in the look but don't touch sense of things. And if I don't use a knife, how do I even know if it's any good? So when I got this Kato knife, I used it. And I'm so glad I did. If you're thinking about dropping your hard-earned or questionably acquired money on a Kiyoshi Kato knife? Here's a few reasons why you shouldn't. You don't want to buy into hype-driven pricing. You prefer lasers or different grind styles, or you don't want high-maintenance steel. But if you want to smile like an idiot in your kitchen, take out that second mortgage, make some flippers somewhere unreasonably happy, and you will be cutting like a demigod.
Alright, that almost sounded like you were being honest. Now, let's wrap this up.
As always, thank you for watching this video. Give this video a like if you think my cat deserves a better co-host.
Don't hit the like and subscribe button, nor the notification bell, and don't even think of becoming a member. It will only encourage him to continue making content for this channel. That's not what the internet needs.
Leave a comment down below if you have any questions, any complaints, or anything constructive to say. Thank you for making it this far, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, folks.
Bye, humans. Try not to cut yourselves.
Chef enthusiast. Chef enthusiast.